time.
Monsignor, work your magic.
We need you to be a leader over there, Stuart.
By golly, you did send me something.
Well, by golly,
golly.
that is shocking. I, for one, am terribly surprised, Larry.
My phone's been doing some funny things where things are getting deleted and,
Oh, good.
yes,
That's good.
that's a positive thing, yeah. I get it. As long
Well,
as
I
they're
mean,
not
depending on
something
what's
that I
getting
need.
deleted, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, my phone just does weird stuff too. I mean, Dr. Google was completely different.
Dr. Google?
Dr. Google.
Well, it's 7:30, so I think we'll get started. How's that?
Good
Scared you?
morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Morning. Doc, Mom, how are you this morning? Good?
Got a crowd this
Merry
morning.
Christmas to you. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We had kind of a small crowd last time, so it's good to see some audiences in the crowd, so thank you. You received the consent agenda earlier. Hopefully you had a chance to review it. And if there's any questions or concerns, now's the time to bring those up. If none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda and the minutes and the financial and income statements.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve. Second?
Second.
Second, Stuart. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Moving right along, we got public comments opportunity. Do we have any public comments that anyone would like to make?
Hey, Lance, the breakfast maybe.
Lance Rupp with Southwest Kansas Builders Association on January 4th. We're having a breakfast. It's, Vicki, I'm not even really sure where it's at.
At Community College.
Oh, it's
down
Community
here.
College in Downriver. And we're going to have Sean Miller, our state lobbyist, come and speak. So you guys are invited. It's at 6:30 to 8. So thank you.
Sure.
Vicky's arranging it, that's why I had to ask her all the questions.
You can let me know if you'd like to go to that.
Good morning, Robert. We're in public comments. If there's any public comments you'd like to make, none? Okay. Thank you for attending. With that, we'll move on to Miss Lana Duvall, our president, going to be give us an update on what's happening.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Project 1222, Helianthus. We didn't name that, no surprise. That's a Department of Commerce RFI that went out, and we did submit a site for that. It's an ag-related industrial project, and obviously we feel like we're well suited for it. We'll see what the Department of Commerce thinks. Prospect 622, this is the project we've been working on with some site consultants, and they have visited the community twice and have followed up with some additional questions. Prospect Niagara, this is one that we're meeting with weekly. We have been able to incorporate quite a few folks into that weekly meeting to answer questions as we go along, and so far things are moving along well there. Excuse me. Housing Project 1222-2. I did add just to help for understanding, in parentheses after the housing project, I have put whether it's a City of Garden City, Finney County, or City of Holcomb project, just for ease of understanding. So this project is City of Garden City, and Steve and I will be having some discussions with them later this morning. They're looking to do a fairly large-scale market rate housing development. 1222 is also City of Garden City. Steve and I have been working with some landowners who own some property that is kind of tucked in among some other developed stuff, so they have an opportunity to do some duplex units there. We have had our preliminary meeting with city staff and got them set out so they know exactly what they're working on with their engineers and surveyor. 922, this is a project that a developer is working on taking over a previously planned housing development, and we've been helping them with the state of Kansas housing tools, as well as looking for a project manager to assist them with their project.
What project is that, can you say?
It would be, actually, I can't say.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say. There's still some legal transfers taking place, so yeah, it
Okay.
would be better not to mention
All right,
that.
thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
522, this is Randall Estates. This project is in the county, and they have gotten through all the process at the county level and are now just waiting on some final construction numbers and engineering to finish up that project. Country Acres, this also is in the county. You guys are familiar with that. It's the Spikes property. Excuse me. They've had to hire a new engineer, and things have slowed a little bit, but hopefully they'll get things back on track and get their contractor estimates in as well. Housing Project 521 at County 1. This is the one that's on the west side between Garden City and Holcomb, and unfortunately, until we have a wastewater solution out there, that project can't move forward. 321, this is Hunter's Glen. If you haven't been out by that on North 3rd Street, you need to take a drive out there. It's moving pretty quickly. They've got quite a few of the units up and ready now to work on the inside when we have weather like we're going to have over the next few days. 820, this is Lost Rivers. As you guys know, they had some challenges with one of the contractors they'd hired on infrastructure. They are now enforcing their bonds that were in place on that, and things have slowed for them, but we are continuing to help them as we can. Prospect Reno, this is the first 21 acres of this prospect. This project will be housing, multifamily, and they are working already on their planning. We're utilizing a couple of the new zoning classifications that the city has designated, so we'll be able to do some pretty cool stuff with shared parking between commercial and housing and that type of stuff. Project Daytona, this is a mixed use in infill, and we have had a almost final architectural meeting with them last week. They gave them just a few additional things that we wanted added to that, and then that should be ready to go, and we'll hopefully get to present that to you guys and let you see what we've all come up with in January. The corridor, things are moving along there. We've put out several parcels for review with various companies, and we do have one purchase sale agreement out on a just shy of 8-acre parcel out there. No update on Quinby wastewater. County Commission does talk about it occasionally, so we know it's still on their radar. And lots of meetings this month. Going into January, it looks like things are gonna get pretty busy again for us, no question. And I will mention also on workforce that we're working with Garden City High School on what they're calling a partnership planning day, which will be unfortunately the first day back for everybody. So it's a professional development day at the district, but it really gives our businesses an opportunity to sit down with the teachers in the various pathways to talk about how they might partner to give the students opportunities for internships, job shadowing, field trips. And obviously, we're hopeful that will lead into full-time opportunities for the students. So if you're interested in participating in that, let us know. We'd be happy to connect you over with the high school to take part in that. But it'll be that Tuesday morning, January 3rd, I believe. Yeah. We did do the freshman career fair, helped to get the word out on that at Garden City High School. That went very well. And the same day we went to Holcomb High School and presented to their entire student base about various careers, and that went really well. That was really the first time that they had dove into that at Holcomb High School, and they really enjoyed having us out and getting the opportunity to speak to their students. And I would just, for anybody who's concerned about the next generation coming up, I would encourage you to go spend some time in your high schools, because I think you would be surprised at how interested the students are, how behaved they are. They paid a lot of attention, asked really good questions. The future is brighter than a lot of people think, I think. Childcare, I was asked to participate with the Department of Children and Families. They're working on some additional marketing around childcare. You guys may have heard there's been some television and radio advertising trying to encourage folks to enter into the childcare education pathway. And they've had some success with that, they feel, but now they really want to take it to the next step and determine how to get businesses more engaged in helping to create childcare and helping families to pay for that childcare. So I had a really good conversation with them, and we'll continue to work with them to make sure that on the statewide level we're getting the information out that we need to and looking for solutions, obviously not only for our community but across the state of Kansas. Upcoming events, we have our annual meeting scheduled for January 26th. That's a Thursday in the endowment room, and we will serve you lunch. And that is all I have for you.
Thank you, Lana. Any questions for Lana? Any at all? All right, she covered it well. Thank you, Lana. Next, we have Mr. Cottrell, Special Projects Director.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
She covered everything.
She did?
Now, let's see, out on the corridor, the road base is nearly completed, and we do have pieces of asphalt here and there. Drainage work is pushing 90% plus. Water mains are pretty much done on the interior side, or on the development side. Sewer is pretty much completed on the development side and is now switched over, going down Acro Way towards the lift station. So the end of the sewer is in sight, maybe. And then still got to connect the water over to the rural water district property just west of 83. PEC, the developer's engineer, is finalizing the infrastructure plans, getting ready to submit those for review for the second phase, which is the balance of the development. And they're just sent out the 60% plans for the highway work that'll be required. So that'll lag a little bit. Part of when the second entrance gets constructed onto the highway, that'll be a right in, right out. So there'll be some widening and some additional pavement that has to be built for the north entrance. The south entrance, all of the turning movements and anything like that, it will be handled on existing pavement. But there's also going to be a traffic signal at that intersection at some point. Plans are in the highway drawing, so it's just a matter when KDOT says, got to do it. So
The south entrance, is it approximately the same location? Where
It's
the entrance
directly
is
across.
from the entrance
Yeah.
into the existing truck stop that's
Yep.
there? Okay.
yeah,
All right. Thank you.
That's, you got to line those things up on a highway. And if you don't, they got to be offset far enough to meet spacing standards. So you just make it a four-way intersection. So, yeah, but the one up north will be right in, right out, and there'll be a raised island type divider so that wayward trucks won't be tempted to turn left into it or turn left out of it. So, Yep, that's good. Yeah, the little infill multifamily development on Spruce Street, got an engineer and the surveyor working with the property owner on moving forward with that. The city will be processing the RHID approval through Commerce for that little 2-acre tract that hadn't been included in any of the other preliminary approvals, so that's the extra step for that job. And then it'll be the normal RHID through there.
How many units for that?
6 lots, looking at, so a total of 12.
Okay.
Don't know if they'll be duplexes or just attached single families, but somewhere in that range, 0 lot line or a PUD or something.
Okay.
The jury's still out on exactly which path to follow there, so. I'm good.
Looks like there's a lot of dirt work going on for the Sports of the World complex.
Yes.
A lot of, they got a fence up now, I think. I see where they got the fence up. It looks like they're building the entrance off of, I don't know, what is the Target, what is that?
Legacy Crossing.
Legacy Crossing, yeah, so that looks like they were getting ready to pour the curb and gutter for that right off of Kansas Avenue.
Yeah, and very slowly, they're getting 2 storm sewers extended across Campus Drive. So
yeah,
I
it's
expect to be inconvenienced, messed up, screwed up for
Quite a while.
another month, probably. But, yeah.
I would also mention the truck stop that was previously Bosselman's. They'd reached out probably 3 months ago now, a company out of Las Vegas. And so that is now rebranded as a TA, and will have KFC, Sparrow, and Dunkin' co-located in that truck stop now. So
What's
exciting to have investment there.
What are they gonna call it?
It's a TA. Yeah. So it'll be nice to have that. The other thing I will mention, Shannon has been working with the city on getting some additional data analysis tools. So look forward to that. You'll have more data to look at before long.
Yeah, that was interesting, you know, when the Old Navy was announced on our Instagram,
Facebook.
Face chat, whatever those things are.
Yeah, what you call them?
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
And Shannon was tracking cell phone or tweets and stuff and came up with our modified
Trade area.
trade area and guesstimated 282,000 people in the primary. One of the samples this company did on cell phone data trackage came up with 280,000.
Is that right?
So Shannon's little informal thingy was spot on.
Turns
Right on,
out he kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does have a good idea.
We can
what
say
they're
that
doing.
since he's not here.
Yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't.
Yeah,
say.
right. All right.
Any questions for Steve? Good job. Thank you, sir. Mr. Scott Ost is not here, so I guess we'll, do anybody have a report for him?
And we'll email his report out to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I was in on, I think, Monday and asked him, and he said he hadn't drilled it up yet, so he will be getting that information to us. New business, SBDC contract consideration.
Yeah, so the small business development centers have long been housed with community colleges and universities. And Greg Jordan is their state director now and reached out, probably 2-3 months ago to start with, and had some discussions with us about why we haven't been able to utilize SBDC much for our businesses in the past. We explained that we've had challenges with getting our entrepreneurs in front of them, getting them meetings scheduled. They've had quite a bit of turnover in recent years, and there wasn't much of an opportunity for us to use them. So he's done some research on their other regions across the state as well, and really feels like the best solution is to partner with either economic or community development offices across the state and co-fund a position that would be an employee of the Economic or Community Development Office, but they would pay $35,000 towards that person's salary. They would make all of their tools available to them so they can utilize all of the SBDC business planning tools and research tools. They would get all of their training from SBDC, but again, would be an employee of the local organization. So I went to Dodge and met with them the very beginning of the month, and I felt like it was probably worth looking at as we look to fill that position. And it would be nice to have, we've been doing this all ourselves in-house. We've been doing all of the business planning and research for various types of business and stuff. We'll continue to do that, but it would certainly be beneficial to have our next staff member trained on both sides of that and able to utilize those tools if they're willing to pay for a part of that position. So
Go ahead.
Is that our responsibility to find that person, or do they provide?
yeah, we would find that person. So it would be an employee of our choosing who would also be able to do the other duties that we need done in our organization.
What, you say the 35,000 is half of what that would take to find that person?
Should be. That's about where we've been on that position previously. Mm-hmm.
That's the same question I was going to ask.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stuart.
So your alternatives are to accept the request and authorize me to enter into the agreement with them and begin advertising for the business advisor position. You can instruct us to gather additional information if you'd like, or you can deny the request.
Anybody have any questions with regards to that?
How soon would this start, as soon as we find the person?
Yeah, that's correct.
Are there people out there that would be interested in this position?
Yeah, we have a couple right now that we know would have an interest in it.
Okay. So the word's already out, kind of, in a way?
These are folks who have just expressed interest that they would like to work with the corporation and
Okay.
have an interest in doing the business development side.
How does our budget look with regards to that position?
Right, well, we never filled Nicole's previous position,
Okay,
so
that-
we have all of that budget authority is there. We've utilized a small portion of that to pay Bonnie Brubieska, who does our bookkeeping on a contract basis, but that's nowhere near
Okay.
the budgeted amount.
I thought we had plenty of money to be able to.
Yeah, we've held that budget authority and kept that position open.
Okay.
Did they offer, or did they say, would this $35,000 be for a certain amount of time, or would it?
His intent is that it will be, that this first year, he's got the budget to do it, and then going forward, he's lobbying with the legislature to keep that position funded that way. It'll actually be a savings to them across the system, just because they'll have those folks embedded in other organizations, but they feel like there's probably better opportunity to keep the folks with them instead of having the high turnover rate by having those folks directly connected to economic and community development offices. One of the challenges they've had is keeping people interested in the position because they feel like they're having to go out and try to find clients to work with. By putting them in the offices, they think they'll be able to feed them and keep them busier and have a higher quality employee as a result of that.
So will that position be strictly for the Feeney County area, or will that be for all of Southwest Kansas?
Their hope is to have one in Dodge City as well.
Okay.
And one in Goodland. So, we would cover pretty much like we are now. Anybody from the region who reaches out to us for assistance in starting a business, we help them. We don't make any judgment call based on whether or not they're within our county lines. You know, as you guys know, we feel it's important to grow the entire region. So that's how we've been doing it, and that's how we would continue to do it.
Makes sense. Will this position require any benefits at a later date? Full benefits? the
Yeah, they would
exact
be
same
our employees, so they would be
Okay.
entitled to all of the benefits that are available to FCEDC employees.
Okay.
Mhm, that's correct.
All right.
We don't split that cost with the state?
Can you believe it?
Can we renegotiate that? Or is that a part of our salary compensation?
I think that's part of our package.
All right, there you go. Any other questions for Lana?
Budget-wise, how's the budget doing for this individual added to it?
Right, well, we did never replace Nicole's position, so that
Okay,
project
that's what I
manager
was
position is,
thinking.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so all of that budget authority is still
Okay.
exists.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So are we, how are we, do we need to have further discussion? Do y'all feel we have enough information to vote to have Nicole go into some negotiations and get this taken care of? Or what's the consensus here? Any questions with regards to this?
Well, if we can find the right person, I think it's a good deal because it would help the staff out
I agree.
Yeah.
to carry on their duties.
Anyone else?
I agree with him.
Okay.
And I believe Lana agrees that it will benefit us,
It definitely will, I think.
so.
Yes, definitely.
Have you been under stress since Nicole left? I mean, really, I'm serious.
Had a full head of hair.
Yeah, I remember when Steve had hair. We
Guy's missing his hair. Look at that.
we are certainly a high-paced office and, you know, have a lot of meetings and a lot of work. Shannon and I both end up doing quite a bit of work outside of work hours just to ensure that we get things finished up, like business plans and that type of stuff. That is a lengthy process. The work we do with entrepreneurs is by far the most time-consuming work we do. Certainly not because it's not worth it, because it absolutely is, but it's just they require a lot of hand-holding, and there's typically a lot of research that goes into those so that we can ensure they're starting a business that is going to be successful. So that is certainly, those projects take the most staff time to accommodate, which is probably interesting to folks to hear that. The big projects typically move pretty smoothly. We have that process down so well that it moves pretty fast. Housing, same way. We know what we're doing on those, and things move pretty much right through. But when it comes to business startup, each of those is unique. We've never done two that were exactly the same, so they do require more time and attention.
In their literature, it looks like there's going to be one in Seward County and Hayes also.
Right, well, right now they have, they were in the Fort Hays system, and they've taken it out now. They've removed SBDC from Fort Hays. And so under that previous agreement, they had an office in Seward County. The person who was running that office is no longer with SBDC. So, yeah, he'll continue to try to place people where it makes the most sense to keep business startups underway. They have some pretty hefty goals. They want to double the client base that they're working with and really increase the business starts as a result of their work. So
That shouldn't be too tough if they haven't had any. I would.
I may or may not have said that during our discussion. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think there is a significant need for this, and I think that it has been underserved in the past. People looking for this SBDC type of person and maybe not realizing they can come to us, but definitely it's something that our staff has been spending a lot of time on. It looks like a win-win to me to get some funding for that and to get back on track with a full-time person in that position, so.
Well,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept alternative one.
Okay. There's been a motion to accept the first alternative here to let Lana move into an agreement with SBDC, begin advertising and hire the successful person for the position. Is there,
I'll second.
Vicky seconds? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Just one more thing to add to the list for you to do, Lana.
Yeah, happy to do it.
All righty, good deal. Old business. We do have some, Stuart brought up the fact about mentioning a tour at the Architects for touring the Sports of the World complex, and we need to have a discussion. Stuart contacted me and said that we wouldn't be able to do it after this meeting. It's a little rushed, and he thought that it might be better if we waited till after the first of the year. Things would be moving a little bit better, and things might slow down at the architect firm, and they may be able to have some time, spend some time with us, and show us the project and give us an idea of what's happening, what all's going to be included in the project, what's in the facility, all of those types of things, and give us an opportunity to ask some questions, clear our minds on what's about to happen there, and make sure that, we see what's going on. Stuart and I talked about potentially doing it after the annual meeting. If that's not too much for the day, I know we get started early, and then we have the annual meeting after our regular meeting, lunch. If you all are okay with.
Would that be too much of a strain on staff, or are you guys comfortable with that? That's a lot in one day.
I think we can handle it. No, it would be fine. I think I think it makes sense to do it when you've all already set aside a day. I don't think there's any problem with that at all.
Okay. Stuart, do you want to check to
I'll
see if
set
we
that
can?
up.
Okay. So we'll just plan on doing that after our meeting on that date, and plan to potentially go over there. So look at your calendars and make sure you're free that afternoon after lunch to go over there.
Try to make it on a Monday or a Friday.
Well, it's at our
It's a
annual.
Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
The annual meeting.
You gentlemen are welcome to attend too, if you'd like.
I'll be in Topeka that week, but we'll
Okay.
have some county people.
Good.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, any other old business that we need to discuss? Do we have a need for executive session?
We do.
Okay. 15 minutes,
I would plan on 20,
20?
just to be sure.
Okay. We have the upcoming events, the annual meeting, and the Garden City Endowment Room. That's on January the 26th. And then we have the invite to the January 4th Builders Association meeting at Garden City Community College at 6:30. Is that correct, in the morning? Okay. And January 3rd, Lana, you mentioned the
Partnership planning meetings at Garden City High School. Yep, and those are from, I don't want to lie to you on the time. Those are from 9:45 to 11:15. And Scott will be putting together quite a bit of information to get out on social media about it. And we'll get that information over to the chamber to share with their business base as well.
Okay. Any other meetings that I've missed? Okay. With that, I hear a motion to go into executive session.
I make that motion.
Second.
We got a second? All in favor? For 20 minutes, is that? what
20
we-
minutes, correct.
Okay, 20 minutes. So, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you.